Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for May 26, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Quick update, this will be the last pre-market report until next Wednesday. I will be out Monday and Tuesday, so next Wednesday's pre-market report for May 31st will be the next one out. Real quickly here, looking at the ES and the daily time frame, we've talked about all week long that we didn't really foresee much activity heading into the rest of the week. We would likely see a quiet uptrending move as we headed into 2404 half. We got that move by the time Thursday came around and pushed right through it, getting a high of 2417.75 and is now holding just outside the 2404 halves. So overall, we've seen much what we expected to see after price pushed back above the 76 halves. That's what makes these pivots so very important. Pushing back above that zone gave us directional conviction that we were likely headed to the upper end of the range. And now price remains still in a bullish trending market where it's never too far away from an all-time high. The only problem is every time we get a high, we rotate back down. We don't stay very often above those highs. So right now, 2404 half, very important. We may stay above there the rest of the session, but what happens next week? Is price going to pop back below that zone and rotate, or are we going to see more strength ahead? Right now, getting long at these highs, very difficult to do. You got to wait for rotations. Anytime you see one of these gifts here, it's usually an opportunity to get in. Any type of rotation right now has been an opportunity to defend for bulls. So that remains intact until we break 2317, 2300. Until we fail to hold that zone, every pullback is going to continue to be a buying opportunity, at least on a swing basis. Let's take a look at the intraday time frame. On an intraday basis here, basically price is pushed down below the previous session's close price right here. We see another push above it and failed, and now we're back below it. So at the moment, price is above the previous close being offered, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback right now. So previous close, previous high after price pushed higher, and right now those prices are being offered. That could bring us right back into the LVN 2405, 2404 half. Any push into this LVN could be a big buying opportunity for bulls looking to return prices back up toward the highs. Yesterday we had the same idea that if we came to this pivot and into 2404 half, there could be a buy opportunity into 2415. We got to 2415 and we missed this in by about 4 or 5 ticks in terms of being right on the edge. So this is still the edge that's still in play. Any push into this offers an opportunity for short-term rotation back up. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil had a huge day in the previous session. Major day. As a matter of fact, right at the open, we had already done most of the day's move, at least the early key range. And so by the time the open came around, we had already had a two-handle drop, a bounce, and I mentioned that was going to be the key range to watch, because should we see more movement, it would likely be off that key range. It eventually had a major sell-off to the downside and reached the 100% target of that key range, sitting right back at 48.75, 48.54 at a key zone. So this was a big time sell-off in the previous session. We talked about how price could be getting near the top end of the range up here where we see rotations back down. I thought there might be one last attempt higher, but again, once the stops come out, it's a full-on stop run day. That was clearly the case yesterday, and we started to pull up our higher time frame targets to the downside. Now I'll show you what it looks like on the intraday, because it's what I mentioned pre-market. I said anytime you have a key range or a key impulse move from 52 straight down into 50.17, that was an impulse move with a bounce right back to the mid. That was market related. That was OPEC related. Once you had that, you had this key range to play off of. And one thing you'll notice when we squeeze the chart here is that once we saw that expansion to the downside, right there's through the bottom of the range, it drops down to the 50% expansion, it hits composite VPOC, and it continues lower until 48.34. So 48.34 was on our board as a target to test by day 2. So I mentioned yesterday to our traders, we might not get that target today, but we might see it by overnight trading. And price came very close to getting it in one day, and then took the next pre-market here to get in here and test it. So that was an incredible 100% move off that edge, and that's exactly what you're looking for out of those key ranges. Now we see price is holding at lows. After a significant trend day like we did the previous day, you tend to see a trading range develop, and edges of the range are likely to be defended. So if price comes down here to a new low below 48.20 ones, that could be a trap opportunity for a move back to 49.26. A push into 49.40, 49.50 could offer an opportunity back down. So right now, downtrending behavior with a likely digestion attached. All right, let's take a look here lastly at gold. We were talking about gold recently here and how we could see a couple of squeezes up. The first squeeze was going to be above 1240, and that was going to open up a lot of strength toward 1280, 1263 rather, and 1250. And so here's 1240, big squeeze up, got it. Then we were talking about the 1245s and how bulls want to defend this edge for a shot at running the stops through 1263 and into 1271 to 1274 and 1280. And so that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing price push through the highs here, seeing a stop run day, and we've reached our 1271s. And that is our target from the low of the month. So if we bring up a different style and we bring up a monthly bull target, so here's the monthly low, that right there, that green line hidden in there, 1271.10, that is our primary bull target for the month based off monthly average daily range or average monthly range. This is your 100% target up there. We still have a little bit more of the month to go, but we finally reached this target. That's what we were looking for. So again, this looks and appears to be quite bullish. Pullbacks to be defended. As long as price remains above 1145, we should see a continuation toward 1280, maybe even a little bit higher from there. All right, that's it for now. Volume and volatility likely to be low as we head into the rest of the session, so be careful and cautious as you trade throughout the day. Remember, force the market to force you to trade on a day like today. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the weekend. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you all next week. Happy Memorial Day weekend.